Hi, I'm CP, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing Terre d'Hermès. Hello and welcome to Bespoke Unit. In this video I'm going to be reviewing Terre d'Hermès Eau de Toilette. If you're interested in seeing a video about the parfum version or even a comparison between the two, check out the links appearing up here in the corner or down in the description below. If they're out already, that's where they'll be. Terre d'Hermès is a really important fragrance to me. It was released in 2006, but I wasn't aware of it until much later in 2010. The nose behind it was Jean-Claude Ellena, who also did Voyage d'Hermès, and if you're interested in learning about that, I did a written review which you can see in the description below, before he retired in 2016. So I discovered this in 2010. I smelt it in a fragrance shop and I was absolutely blown away by it. I said, this is the fragrance that I want to wear when I'm older. But at the time, I thought I was a little bit too young for it, as it has this quite mature, very powerful presence behind it. So the years have passed, and a couple of years ago, I bought myself a bottle. Well, this is actually my second one, and as you can see, it's been heavily used. But I haven't gotten around to doing a review until quite recently because, well, there's just so much newer content to cover that it took me a while to get round to this classic. To review this fragrance, we'll be using the Bespoke Unit fragrance formula, quantifiable review matrix, and you can actually download your own blank copy to use at home. So we'll start with the composition. So I'm going to do 2 sprays on the back of my hand. There we go. I'm just going to let that cook off briefly, let some of that alcohol evaporate and give it a sniff. Well, like I said earlier, this is a fragrance that I've known for some time, so I'm not going to pretend this is the first time I'm smelling it, but I'm going to be using these notes here to read off the notes I'm getting. Well, we start with a crisp orange note, which is very fresh, quite zesty, but it's countered by a bittersweet grapefruit note. So as you can imagine, this bouquet, this accord that you have in the head is very citrus dominant. It's very pleasant, and it does persist for quite a while before we move to the heart of the fragrance, which is a bouquet of patchouli, which is quite earthy, pepper, so you've got some spicy substance in there, and geranium, which adds a floral presence. During this period, it starts to remove, the bitterness kind of fades away from the grapefruit, and we start to get a mellowing of the fragrance as a whole. Now, I'm not there yet, but once you get to the base, you can expect cedarwood, which gives it this nice fresh wood appeal, oak moss, which gives it this kind of earthy mineralness, and then we've got a little bit of benjoin, which gives this incense balsamicness, which is quite sweet, quite warm as well as vetiver. The vetiver gives this kind of green earthiness as well into the base. Overall, we're looking at a very balsamic base with a couple of hints of what I think would be best described as flint or kind of a chalk mineral note. Next up is the seasonality, but I'm going to quickly touch on what I feel this fragrance exudes, which can really paint you a very vivid picture of when it's best worn. For me, this is kind of, it's got connotations. It evokes a Mediterranean orange grove. In the early evening, the sun is still beating down onto the dried earth, the dusty rocks, and you can smell the ripe fruit of the orange trees. And you've kind of got this slight sea breeze coming in as well. It really does, for me, feel reminiscent of that part of the world at that time of day. As such, I feel that this is kind of, given the seasons of citrus, we're looking at something that is more autumn, fall period. Paul Anthony, the founder of Bespoke Unit, likes to wear it during the winter. I'm not personally a fan of this. I think it's much more an autumnal fragrance, and it can be worn in early spring as well. If you want to wear it during the summer, you can, because it is quite fresh in some ways, but bear in mind that it can be quite heavy, especially under intense heat. So for me, this is much more of a milder month fragrance, especially during the early autumn, which is just the perfect season for wearing this. As for the weight and strength, this is an excellent performer. This fragrance just It's outstanding. In terms of sillage, well, this is the only place where it's not as effective as its other properties. So the sillage, which is the wake that you leave behind you, the trail, is quite tight, which means that contrarily, it's quite advantageous in that you have to get quite close behind someone to be able to pick it up. It's not going to, you know, leave a massive trail behind you. You're not going to leave a room and it's still going to leave the scent in there. People are going to have to chase after you if they want to smell this. In terms of projection, so this projects quite nicely, but not too far either, so it's quite effective there. And in longevity, this is a fragrance that lasts you for hours. You can put this on in the morning and you can probably still pick it up in the evening. Nevertheless, I would want to carry a travel atomizer with me and top it up regularly, just to really get the main benefits of this fragrance and not just a slightly zesty, minerally balsamic skin scent for the majority of the day. Looking at third-party feedback now in the fragrance community, this is kind of an unsung hero, although everyone does appreciate it. Everyone does really like this fragrance, but not everyone talks about it all the time. That tends to be more Creed Aventus that gets all the limelight. However, this does get a lot of praise, and it is much appreciated by the fragrance community. In terms of the general public, then this is something that is really enjoyed by people overall, of all ages, although it is much more effective with more mature people. So I'd say, well, mature, but 30s and above, they really like the smell of this. Men and women, they really do appreciate it. It's something that is quite, it has stature, it demands authority, but at the same time it's still quite sensual, and it still delivers this this seductive character as well. So it's a great one for the workplace, and I'll get to that in a second. In terms of impressions here, we're looking at a fragrance that is best suited for men in their 30s or above. As I said in my earlier story, this is a fragrance that I would have loved to have worn in my early 20s and late teens, but I just felt that I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't mature enough. So it wasn't a fragrance I got until recently, and I think that even then I was a little bit early on it. The Parfum version, again, is even more mature, and I wouldn't be able to wear that, but I will wear this, and I'll wear it with pride. In terms of the time of day, this is an all-day fragrance. It smells wonderful in the morning, really perks you up, wakes you up during the day as well, and even during the evening and night because of those sunset connotations that I mentioned during the seasonality. In terms of the occasion, we're looking here at something that is great for the office, but you can really, it's so versatile, you can wear it anytime. This is a great fragrance that you could wear to the office. You could wear it anytime. So this is a fragrance that you could probably wear going out, you could probably wear it at home, so you could wear it anytime. So this is a fragrance that you could even wear going out, or you can wear casually, you can wear with a suit or formally. It is that versatile. And finally, in terms of masculinity, well, you're looking at something that is quite a beast here. It's quite strong, it's not overwhelming, this isn't kind of Black Panther level, but this is something that you would want to be careful with and not overspray either. It does have some presence to it. Finally, let's touch on the presentation of Terre d'Hermès. Now, the bottle I absolutely love. I think the design is great. You've got this nice H at the bottom here, which it sits on this orange color that reflects into the liquid, and a very simple sans serif logo here, Terre d'Hermès, very minimalist, with a silver bar on the top. You unscrew the cap here and it reveals the atomizer, so you don't have to take it off, no chance of it getting lost, and it's great for traveling because it doesn't get undone. So I love the style of this. I think the delivery is excellent. It looks great on a mantelpiece, although I tend to keep mine in a wardrobe, in a cupboard, so they don't get affected by humidity, light or heat. Next, the packaging. Well, the packaging is down here, so give me a second. The packaging is awesome. I absolutely love this kind of coffee gourmand color that they've gone for with the Hermès horse and carriage sort of silhouetted here on the front with a contrasting brown, and you have the same logo as you have on the bottle here, embossed with the Hermès logo at the top. Very classy, looks great, lovely as a gift, but I keep mine just to store my fragrances because I don't want them to be affected by the light. Next would be the atomizer. The atomizer, well, not only is the cap great, but I love this here. Very nice thick mist, good clouds, good dispersal, but not too wide either that you lose some of the accuracy when you apply it. So finally, in terms of value for money, this is a fragrance that is sort of in the premium end, but it's still very affordable. A bottle like this, which is 50 milliliters, will set you back at about $50 to $60. There are links below on where to get it and where we found the best prices. To conclude, as you probably noticed, I didn't say a bad thing about this fragrance because for me, it is one of my favorites. Now, I know I use the Bespoke Unit fragrance formula, which is a quantifiable and objectified system, but it depends again who is writing it. And I have many wonderful things to say about this fragrance, as it is a cherished one for me. This is a fragrance that you wear to show that you're more mature, not physically, but mentally, from the heart. This is something that you want to present to people, that you're not a boy anymore, you're a man. You want to be taken seriously, but you still have a seductive side to you, you still have a playful side to you, and you do enjoy living life to the fullest. This, I believe, will be a classic for the years to come, and it's one I will continue to wear with much pride and pleasure. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions or queries, or even your own opinion on this fragrance. And finally, hit that notification button as well as the subscription button so you can see more men's lifestyle content, which can be anything from fragrances to shoes, suits, cigars, whiskey, you name it, we probably cover it. Everything that's good for you, that is. With that being said, my name's CP. Take care.